Wait, first off, before I go on, follow Sarah Zebo, I see your hand up.
Yes, I was wondering if Tina could email the list of students because this chat will be deleted as soon as we leave. So, I mean, everything everything we say is gonna be gone.
Sure, Eric. Oh, Ellie, should I send them to you? Should I send you the list of students?
I actually, wait,
Or should I send?
I
I
got it.
can copy and paste them and email them to Eric
Yep.
right
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I could have done that too. I didn't even think of
I
my
was,
bad.
yeah. I didn't think they were gonna get they were delete though, but it's a good thing you're at least bringing something up though, so we don't lose this. And I would also grab that additional information about the dates and everything for the open forum as well, definitely. So all right, cool. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Sarah Zebel. I am going to actually ask for a motion here make a make an adjustment to amend the agenda actually, and I forgot I made a slight mistake, and we need to actually add Elijah on to the appoint him as it's the third visit to our general assemblies, and so I'm looking for a motion here from anybody so we can actually make. I know I'm kind of breaking out of character here, but it's important though that we do this. So Sarah Zebel, is this a motion or a question?
I believe you have under new business. You have VP appointment already, or is that something completely different?
I don't, not quite sure what you're referring to. But VP
I got
Shep,
a whole new template, man. Never mind. What the heck? That's on me. That's on me.
it's all right. It's all right. I am though. With that said, I am still looking for motion to do this. VP Lavella, is this a motion to amend the agenda to and add under a new business appointment of Elijah as a student senator?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Then I'm looking for a second. And I saw Senator Willis's hand. Is this a second?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Senator Willis. All those in favor, if you would please use the hand raising feature now and keep your hands up. Awesome. Awesome. That is the majority. And therefore, we'll add that onto the agenda. And good call. We didn't want to make sure we're forgetting Elijah on this one. So awesome. I'm really glad about that. So now with that said, let's move on down the list here and reports of officer, advisors, and standing committees, executive council and president report. President Green, the executive council met today to continue furthering the discussion on how to plan for the town hall that's going to be on March 1st, and on updates that each senator had taken it upon themselves, or senators as a team, to work on topics that we had discussed in the previous meeting. So that took place at further discussion, further planning, and yeah, I don't really want to have anything to really say at this moment about it, other than we're actually doing some good work on it. So, but yeah, always going to be looking for help though with making sure we can get everybody attending and help out. So, so there was that. Other than that, I'm really actually gonna probably cut this one short here. We actually had nothing else to really discuss besides going over. I'm blanking here for a second, but it's really not my place to say because I know we're going over it here in a little bit. So, but the budget and the 3-year plan, looking at everything. So that's going to be coming up here later on in the agenda. So there's not really anything for me to really say on that. I'll let VP Shockey kind of take the lead. So that concludes my report. Administration Finance, VP Shockey, your report.
Yeah, so the Finance Committee has been working on the 3-year plan. With that, the budget, and we do have a final budget proposal that I'll be sharing a little later during this meeting. And we've also honed in on our 3-year plans goals, which I also will likely be sharing. I was going to ask you, President Green, if that would also require an amendment to the agenda to include discussing the goals, or am I able to briefly share those with the presentation, the budget presentation, or what's the best means of going about that, do you think?
How much time did you put on it? Because I'm more or less inclined to just say just put it on with the current report so we can make sure that we're making some good time here.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll mention it when I do the budget presentation later. So, but yeah, so the 3-year plan and the budget we've been working on. Last Tuesday, we also, during our meeting, approved a club funding request for the Fitness and Recreation Club. They wanted to send some members to a conference in the Dells, I believe. So we approved that. And yeah, that's pretty much what we've been working on. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, VP Shockey. Legislative Affairs Committee is currently vacant. Team Development Committee, VP Lindert's still not here, so we're going to move on and then go to Public Relations Committee with VP Labella.
No report other than I did post the first kind of social media announcement for people to put their name in the hat for running for Senate. And there is now a section on the website under Join Us for both someone to apply for just the general senator position or the president position. Thanks to Senator Zebel for getting that done so quickly as well.
Awesome. And that concludes your report?
Yep.
All right, perfect. All right, then moving on down, the Senate Advisor Report with Advisor Rome.
All right, it's a quick one. So there are some Black History Month events happening at Goodman South next week. We have not been able to find any student ambassadors to help with the event, and most of us in student life are pretty busy. So we are reaching out to other students to see if you all would be able to help. So Tuesday and Wednesday of next week from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. I believe they're giving away food. At least one of the events is going to be trivia related. I don't have all of the details in front of me, but Goodman South, Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So is there anyone right now who knows they would be available? I'll let you think about it. While I talk about the other thing, just feel free to raise your hand if you are. And then you'll be getting more information from me about this tomorrow. But as you might recall, the student leadership retreat was switched to fully virtual back in January. We are trying again for kind of the challenge course and social part of the retreat on Monday, February 28th. So we're calling it a student leadership social. We will be bringing in the challenge course staff to facilitate some activities. It'll be fun. We'll serve you lunch. It's going to be a box lunch, so you can always just take it with you if you don't feel like eating with everybody else in the room. But Monday, February 28th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Truax. And there will also be an opportunity to sort of spotlight your organizations. So it should be a lot of fun and really connect with other organizations. President Green was actually one of the people who got me thinking that we need to try to redo something, just because of all the connections that were made in the August one and then just not having this one. So please RSVP and attend if you can. That would be amazing. And that question is at the times for the Black History Month events. Yes. Tuesday, the 15th, Wednesday, the 16th, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And Katrina, I'm thinking that's a hand up, maybe to help, but if it's a comment, let me know.
It was to help.
Perfect. I will send the message on, and one or both days.
Is it the same time both days?
Yep.
Okay, let me just go back to my calendar. I believe I can do it both days because FPIC doesn't meet until 2.
Wonderful. Thank you. That is my report.
All right. Thank you very much, Advisor Rome. Moving on down to reports from special and select committees, student activities board, VP Shockey. And
Yes.
okay.
So I don't have a whole lot to report. We reviewed the budget and the student activities fee, and we discussed the possibility of maybe lowering that by 1% or 2%. We did not vote on anything, or we haven't made any final decisions, but we're kind of looking at our budget moving forward and how much money we may need in the future, if we can lower that for students, or if it should remain the same. And there'll likely be a vote on that, I believe, in early March. So I'll keep you guys all updated with the decision that is made regarding that. And that concludes my report.
All right. Thank you, VP Shockey. Moving on down, Racial Equity Committee is currently vacant. Textbook Affordability Committee, President Green and VP Shockey. Well, we got a meeting on Monday. That's happening. And I again, I don't know if it's really even worth talking about until we know what we can really work with. But there might be options to help get student input. So till we know for certain, I don't really think it's really worth digging into just quite yet. So that really, you have anything, VP Shockey, that you want to include with that, or are we good?
Nope.
All right. Cool. Sounds good to me. And then moving down, Public Safety Advisory Committee, Senator Willis, do you have a report for us?
No report.
All right, thank you very much. And then we go on to reports from regional and metro campuses. Reedsburg is currently vacant. Watertown is currently vacant. Portage is currently vacant. Fort Atkinson is currently vacant. And then Goodman South. Senator Zhang, do you have a report for us?
A report.
Okay, and then moving on down from there, College Assembly, and I'll give a report on this. I'm staying out first and foremost because that was the last thing that happened. I'm gonna kind of call this. Was it end up being a second read advisory room for that? I mean, I know it was just one word you had said it was. All right, so yeah, the Institutional Effectiveness Council did their second read. And I guess the only question I had been asked was about what the who was, but who was meant to be the college, and in terms of data, making data available, how it's collected and how it can be used to be available to everyone. Kind of that summarize that correctly, at least very vaguely, advisory room. All right, cool. And then I mean, there's Achieving the Dream update. A lot of stuff's going on there. the biggest thing I think was the very long discussion where I guess it was meant to be shorter on the credit no credit option that we gave feedback to, which they did actually present and use some of the information that we gave, which is very awesome to see as always. But yeah, there definitely it's nice to see that the college is looking out for students by having these conversations, and there's definitely a lot of opinions. So I think those I might probably am always missing something, but I think that really is about it. Hopefully, shake my head. And so that concludes that. So, moving on down, academic council, Senator Jane, do you have a report for us?
Yes, I'd like to use this chance to say that I will be stepping down from the academic council as I will not be able to attend future meetings due to my classes.
All right, all right. We definitely appreciate you being on the academic council for as long as you have been, and you know, like I said, academics always comes first. So that's good. But did you have any report from any recent report or anything, or else we're good? Are we good to move on?
We can move on. No recent reports.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Senator Jane. And diversity and community relations is currently vacant. Facilities planning and investment council. I throw it out to you, Senator Willis. Do you have a report for us? I don't know if you're muted. I don't or not. Are you with it? Are you with us, Senator Willis?
Yes, no report.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And then moving on down from there, Finance Council is currently vacant. Information Technology Council, Senator Zebel, do you have a report for us?
I did not make the meeting today. I know President Green, you did. Is there anything on your end that you need to add?
Just going over some of the feedback from the technology services open forum or session or whatever you would like to call it, that happened a couple weeks ago. That's really it. That sound good with you,
Perfect. That ends
Senator
my
Zebo?
report then.
That's what I was gonna look for. So cool. Then moving on down, Institutional Effectiveness Council, VP Shockey report.
No report. We meet next Wednesday.
Okay, thank you very much. Then Professional Development Council is currently vacant, and Student Affairs Council, VP Labella.
No report. We meet next Friday.
Okay, thank you very much. And then moving on down from there, we have no unfinished business, and then this is where I am a little bit. You said you had updated you had put an updated copy on Advisor Room, because I don't know why I pulled a non-version copy.
It looks
For
like you're in
me,
the same version under new
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, and that's sorry. I
There are
try to eliminate as many windows.
two things
as
there. I
possible.
put the appointment
I
first.
see it. I see it. All right. So, yes. Well, this is the time. We have 10 minutes. Elijah, this is kind of how it runs down. If you have not seen any of these appointments, new center appointments, I don't know if you actually have had a chance to yet. But 10 minutes is on the clock. The first 5 minutes, you have the chance to talk about any experience that you bring to being a student senator. It's basically like giving a kind of like a little spiel, plugging away at what would make you great at this position, and and therefore how about that would help the students. So I'm gonna step back, be quiet. I'm gonna say it's 5:13, and 5:18. You don't have to use all the 5 minutes. Not usually everyone does. but that is your time, and I'm gonna let you take it away.
Hello, I am Elijah Lynn. I am currently attending from the Penny Library. I am currently enrolled as a STEM student in the liberal arts transfer. I wanted to join Student Senate because of my previous experience at La Follette as a student, like part of the student council. I was senator freshman year and vice president second. And I was able to run some surveys and gather data on kind of how the student body was feeling. And I saw that during the town hall in November, I believe, the changes you guys were able to make, and it really inspired me to try to join this, as it would be a great opportunity to impact like the environment around me in a better way. I have basic leadership training from a job, MSCR prep training. We attended a few presentations from, I forget the doctor's name, but it was like a sociologist, PhD guy, and he taught us about like the steps that is needed to become a leader, and how not everyone looks about the way coming down. You always think about what steps you take forward, but not returning back down. I think it's important that you always are paying attention to what's around you and are able to keep an eye on everything. I have also currently I am like working with some friends to create a club, the book club. I am not going to be one of the founders, as they started it obviously with the counselor, but I have worked with them on creating like flyers, and we talked about bylaws for the club. Some work another like work I did at La Follette. So I was creating some of the events during COVID. I really pushed for like online virtual ways to interact, such as photo days, where we allowed students to email our student council, like teacher who hosts the club. And we were able to add to the yearbook actually, because the sports obviously did not have pictures, so we tried to get as much from the students as we could. I am willing to like accept any position really that is on the open councils. I feel the ones that were presented during January were really fun looking and gave an opportunity to learn about the inner workings of the school. I think that's all I have to say.
Well, that was a fantastic plug about yourself right there. So that's awesome, and sounds like you have quite a bit of experience. So we definitely like that. So now the next part, and again you have about a minute left, but if you said you're done, so no one usually uses that full 5 minutes. So trust me, no one does. So next part in this is the Senate gets to ask you some questions, and they're the pretty basic, generic ones. Nothing wrong with that though. And then after that, the vote happens, closed ballot vote happens, and if it's in favor, then we'll have VP Shockey do read off the oath to you, and you'll be sworn in. So sound like a plan? Cool. So questions that we have for Elijah and VP Labella.
Well, first off, it's nice to meet you. You mentioned leadership skills, which is always amazing, but I was wondering if you feel confident about your skills in working with teams, which is what Senate kind of is at the end of the day, and was wondering if you had anything to say about that.
I believe I am pretty good at working in teams. I have at the previously mentioned MSCR job, our entire goal was to create a overall immersive experience for the children. And so often I was working with multiple grades, team leaders, and trying to figure out a way to create a community. At La Follette, often the those of the same grade would meet at student council and we would brainstorm what needs to be done. So I would say my teamwork skills are fairly good.
Awesome. Awesome. Other questions that we have for Elijah? Well, I'll throw one out there. What I guess for me, something I've had to learn about myself is not realizing that you can't, even though you want to do as much as you possibly can, that it's not always, it's not always easy, and sometimes it's hard to kind of say, hey, I gotta take some time for myself. How do you are you good with being able to speak up for yourself, that especially when it comes to things like your mental health and whatnot, just being able to say, hey, I need some me time, or I need time to make sure I'm working on my grades and stuff like that. How do you do good with self control on that end?
I believe my advocation skills for myself are really good actually. I have an IEP and I have basically communicated to all of my teachers my accommodations, and my counselor is really surprised I never need someone to speak on my behalf. I have other commitments and I have called them off when I have had struggles with my mental health or I've needed time to work on my grades. I would say I will always give notice when I need to like take a step back, and I will try to create like a mental space for myself to get better. Um, I think that's all of it.
Awesome, awesome. Um, any other questions? I think we may be hitting that 5 minute mark here, and I'll and then at that point again hand it over so advisor room can duel out the closed ballots. But I think I'll if there's any other final questions though, I want to make sure that we're just getting those out there. And I'm not seeing any. All right. Then in the chat, there's the Survey Monkey link that Advisor Room just pasted in there. And if you're a voting member, we're gonna vote, and Advisor Room will let us know what the results come out to be.
Four votes. I'm looking for 6. I have 6 unanimously. Congratulations, Elijah. You are now going to be a student senator.
Woo! Yeah, congratulations. I mean, yeah, there we go. I'm seeing all right. So next part, the fun part. I'm gonna let VP Shockey read off the Senate oath to you, and I think I don't know. All you got, he's gonna read it off, and I think all you have to do is just say that you whatever the thing is that you gotta say, and we're good to go. So
All right. Do you solemnly swear to do your civic duty to serve your college, your community, and most importantly, your fellow students in a democratic fashion, that you will treat all people equally and fairly, that you will strive to create a student center which is welcoming to everyone, that you will protect and defend the rights of all students, that you will listen, speak out, and act in ways which will empower all students, and that you will carry out all these tasks to the best of your ability?
I will keep these tasks at heart and will make sure that these are done to the best of my ability.
perfect. Perfect. We like that. We like it. All right. Yeah. So woo. Then from here on out, yeah, you are now officially a voting member. We'll get you set up and everything and connected. But yeah, you technically can vote from here on out. I'm just throwing it out there, so don't get too excited. But that was a bad joke. But I'm gonna move it on down now to the next part here with the student senate stipends, and so Advisor Rome, you're good to go.
I am ready. So some of us, I was going to say the finance committee, but it wasn't really. It was President Green, VP Shockey, and I initially started this conversation to plan for the budget for next year. And then it was talked about with the finance committee and then the executive council. So just a little bit of background. But as you might recall, last semester, Student Life did a review of the student stipends to determine if they were equitable across organizations and if they were, if the amounts overall were right. And we found that they were not all that equitable. And unfortunately, Senate was one of the organizations that is, I guess, undercompensated compared to some of the other groups. And that overall, all of the stipends really needed to go up. So we created some categories, some of different student employee positions. So there is kind of the executive level, which the stipend will be between $750 and $1,000 per semester. There's the senior coordinator, which the stipend will be between $500 and $750 per semester. And then the coordinator, which is $350 to $500 per semester. Based on a rubric and all this other stuff we did, the vice president positions were determined to be in that executive level. And then the senator positions were determined to be in the senior coordinator level. So those were the parameters we were working within. And as you might recall from the conversation last semester, this group decided that it made sense to have the Senate president be an hourly position, just due to the immense responsibility and huge time commitment that the position really is. So it will allow for different people to maybe be able to take this position on, open up the door for students who might not have been able to do it with just the stipend. So that's exciting, but changes the budget a lot. So I just wanted to present these and this portion actually have a vote on because it is such a significant change from the current stipends. And it would be nice for the finance committee and VP Shockey to be able to go into the student activities board confidently with these numbers in their budget proposal for next year. So I am sharing, right? No, I'm not. That's weird. I thought I was. There we go. Now I'm sharing. So the proposed amounts for the president, summer would be up to 15 hours a week, and the summer is approximately 16 weeks. The current student help rate is at $12.50. That may go up, but we're using the current rate. So total of $3,000 for the summer, and then the time commitment is more during the school year. So 32 weeks, that's both semesters. That would be $8,000 for the school year, just for the Senate president. The officers determined very close to the top of that 750 to 1,000 range would be appropriate, but not all the way at the top, just because the time commitment is not like close to 20 hours. So $900 for 4 officers each semester, 7,200. And then determined that, you know, if the president is working like 3/4 of what they do during the school year over the summer, maybe the officers would be kind of roughly in there. It wasn't exact, but it's nice to have nice round numbers for the stipends. So 4 officers over the summer getting $700 each, which that is a huge increase from the summer stipends, if you recall. I think there is a lot more that we do over the summer than maybe previously happened. We really rely on that as a training period and want to make sure that students feel like it's worth their time to do the training, because if they don't, then we really don't get off on as strong of a foot as we would like. And then similarly, with the senators being in the 500 to 750 range, put senators really toward the top of that, just because of really the level of responsibility that the senator position holds and the fact that it is elected by the student body. So really toward the top of that range, almost all the way up. Times 15 senators and 2 semesters is $21,000, which is more than the entire student help budget request used to be. So I think maybe finally getting senators the stipend they should have. And then over the summer, it's less of a commitment for senators. They don't have their committees up and running usually. So it's really just the training and attending General Assembly, and then the 2 hours of office service hours a week. So it's a lesser commitment than the officers and the president. So that brings the total request to $48,000, which is well over the entire budget request from last year and the year before and the year before. But as VP Shockey has shared about the Student Activities Board meetings, there is money there. And I think that this is the time to make these drastic decisions and changes, because I think even in the 3.5 years that I have been in this position, there is less and less interest in Senate, or at least people staying with it. I think because of those other commitments, and maybe this would allow for students to be more engaged or engaged for longer. Did I see a hand? Was that Zebel?
Well, it was, yeah, kind of. Do you have a visual of the new positions? Just, you were talking about senior coordinator in that, right?
Oh, yeah, I can share that. Sure. I've got some slides I did for SAB last week.
Because I guess I was wondering if that's taking over comm coordinator, or is that still in there?
So the titles are to classify all student organization positions. So the executive level applies to all organizations. All organizations will have probably at least one person who falls under this executive level. And that's the range for all of the positions that are listed on the screen there. Each organization gets to decide exact amounts, which is what the conversations this week have been, of deciding that the Senate vice presidents will get toward the top of that range of $900 a semester. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
And then the next slide has all the positions that fall under that senior coordinator position. The one thing we have not 100% discussed, I think, is the communications coordinator position. I don't have it written in here, but we briefly talked about that there will still be an additional stipend for the communications coordinator.
Would that be getting raised at all based on performance of next person's? Or is
There
that
would
staying the
still be the
same?
max. There would still be the anticipated stipend. The stipend rubric is still going to be in place. If people don't live up to the expectations of the position, they won't automatically get, the $700 stipend as a senator. There's still the rubric, still the percentage off if they join partway through the semester. All of that is staying.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's VP Shockey, you had your hand up, right?
Yeah,
I
was
don't
just
know if you
gonna-
want to take
Sorry, I couldn't
questions
see that.
now. No, it's
No,
all right.
I didn't have a question. I was just gonna clarify about the communications coordinator position, but I think Advisor Ohm touched on that.
And I think the best way that that your presentation did was it kind of just said on many levels to make sure everybody's getting the fair amount across all the student organizations. It putting them in these 3 classifications helped make that possible. So just in case, yeah. But and then Senator Zhang, you have a question?
Yes, I have a question. I'm not sure if this was already mentioned, but which category does the peer coordinator of student life belong in?
Peer coordinators are front desk staff, if I understand correctly. Those are hourly positions,
Oh, okay.
so those don't fall into this.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Doesn't look like
So the hope is that you all feel comfortable with these amounts for, you know, starting summer. Unfortunately, it's not in the plan to start this year, but to start for the summer term. Maybe I can ask if we can start it this semester, but I don't know. The money's there, so maybe I should just ask the question. But for next year, do you feel comfortable with this? And I would like for there to be a formal motion to vote on it, and a vote to take place. Just hand raising.
So I saw Senator Willis's hand up first. Is a question or a vote?
I was going to make the motion.
Okay. So then you're making a motion to approve the Senate's proposed budget for the next year, the next fiscal year, however you like to say it.
Yes, and with the caveat, if she can check if we can start this semester would be great too.
Yeah.
Great.
I was thinking paid
If we
retroactive.
don't ask, they can't. If we don't ask, we won't get it. But at least if she asks, we may get it. So that's just why I wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. All right. So motion's been made. Next on my list, I see VP Labella. So I'm gonna ask you: is this a second to this motion?
Actually, it is not. I had a question.
Okay. All right. Yes.
So I was wondering, has this, and I'm sorry if we touched on it in our meeting earlier, but has this budget request has not been approved to my knowledge, right? So this still has to go through that process.
Hasn't even been requested.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to know that. So this is not someone and like this isn't a done deal just yet. This is
No.
just our approval of it.
Nope,
Okay,
we
I just
wanna
wanted
get
that clarification on record.
Senate approval before it's requested from the Student Activities Board.
Perfect. Thank you.
Next down the list, I see Sarah Zebo. Are you going to second as this motion's still on the table? You second?
No, I still had a question.
Okay.
I mean,
No.
so regarding that, then you're saying we could squeeze more money out of them, right?
I would probably just advise not to push it.
I
This
mean,
is
if they
quite a
got
bit of-
it, I'm not gonna not push it. I mean,
Everybody's
all they do is
budget's
go.
going up, and to keep with not being out of order, I want to allow for Senator Willis's motion to carry through. If we do have a second, and then if we don't, we can continue on down the discussion if that's necessary. So who's I just see Senator Zhang. Are you seconding this? Are you gonna this motion to approve? Or you have a comment yourself?
Yes, this is actually a motion to approve. So yes, I second.
I have one
Second.
question before.
Okay.
I'm sorry to speak out of order.
This
but
would
I-
be the time. Would be that moment. So yeah.
And sorry to speak out of order, but I didn't want to go ahead. Just to clarify, for the record, I think you said so. This is a motion to approve the budget, but this is to approve the stipend amounts. That's
I'm sorry. Yes, that is correct. That
And I'm not
that's
trying
good
to-
that you said no.
Yeah.
That I'm very happy you said something. So I will re-clarify to make sure I'm making it clear. And just confirm it again. Senator Willis, the motion that you made is to approve the proposed stipend adjusted values, correct, for the next fiscal year. Does that sound more accurate?
That is correct.
Okay.
And like I said, I also supported when she said that she will see if there are other opportunities maybe for that to start earlier. So that is not a
Yep.
part of the motion. I was just making that as a subtle statement.
I know. And yeah, she's still gonna. I know she's still gonna. We'll check. And so with that adjusted thing, that re-clarifying correctly. Thank you to VP Shockey. Now, Senator Zhang, do you second that motion?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, that said, all those in favor of approving the proposed stipend adjusted change for the next fiscal year, use the hand raising feature. Keep your hands up. And Elijah, just so you know, if you don't know, there is that hand raising feature. If you go hover by your name, participant name, and there we go. Yeah, so that's awesome. You catch it on fast. That's majority there, so that's been approved. Thank you, everyone. You put your hands down, and that's awesome. Good job. So let's continue on then. Now that we've gotten new business done, let's go down to the non-business with the budget presentation. And VP Shockey, you can take it away.
Yeah, and I'm first going to share my screen here. This might not be as smooth as Ben Monte's budget presentations, but I will try my best here. All right, can everyone see my screen here?
Yes.
Okay. So this is our budget proposal that we would submit to the Student Activities Board to request funds for the next fiscal year. And if you guys can see my cursor here right up top, as we just went over the stipend, that the total stipend amount for paying all student senate positions would be $48,000, which is the by far the largest portion of our budget. It usually has been. You can see in previous years here as well. It's been the highest section there. So then we go down here. You can see the different supplies and expenses. This is, for those that may not know, all of these amounts are also at the end of the 3-year plan. Our budget is outlined there, and it might be a little clearer and easier to see there. There's not some of these other categories, such as professional development, where we have no funds requested. But so you can see here, travel, convention, conference, food.
Shockey.
Yeah, let's see if I can zoom in here.
No, that's not actually what I was going to say. I was going to just let you know that we have our hand raised, and that might be a question from Senator Zebel.
Is that better? Okay.
Yeah, we're all good. Thanks. Appreciate
Perfect. So yeah, you can see all of the categories here and what we've requested. There's 2 categories that we haven't requested any funds. That is the awards and the registration fees. We're still going to have or requesting funds for those categories, but awards have been placed in supplies. And then the registration fees were placed in membership and subscriptions. And that's for things like the Constant Contact, our website, and online services we use. We felt it fit more appropriately in the membership and subscription category. So aside from those 2 categories that we've got rid of, the other categories pretty much remain the same, and the funds have increased in most places. We basically looked at the year ahead and what we would need to spend money on, different conferences, travel, food, supplies, and things like that. And we estimated what that would cost there. So our total budget is $62,450. You can see right here, which doesn't seem, it is a lot more than our previous fiscal year. But if we go down here to the amounts that we've requested in the past, 2019 to 2020 was $37,000 versus last year being $28,000. So the jump up to $62,000 isn't as drastic as it seems, considering our budget was steadily increasing until COVID hit, which is the real reason that it dropped so low. But going back up to 62,000 from, if you take 32 or 38,000 from the previous high year, is not overboard. So and also considering the stipend review, as Advisor Rome said, those haven't really increased, and its compensation is kind of necessary there. So that's another reason for the jump from the amount of our previous budget to what we'll request for next year. So that's just a basic summary. I'm happy to take any questions, or if President Green and Advisor Rome help me greatly on this, if they have anything they'd like to add, they can as well.
Senator Zebel, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what repair service is. What would that be used for us? Like window breaks in the Senate or something?
I guess the best way I can clarify is the software that, from my understanding, and Advisor Rome, correct me if I'm wrong, the software that's used to do the budgets have all these categories on there. So some of them just they're not applicable to our needs. And that may be one of these categories. I don't know.
It pulls what categories any group requests.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
So maybe performing arts needs money for repairs.
Yeah.
So we just
Okay,
don't.
so it's the general template we use. Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any other thoughts or comments? Okay. VP Shockey, you can continue.
That's
what we're going to go
what I
over
have to
the
share
three-year
regarding
plan.
the budget. I was also going to share here our 3-year plan goals. Is that okay if I do that currently? Okay. All right. So is my screen here? Okay, let's see. So I will zoom in here. And okay. So this is still in progress, but this is where we're at right now with our goals here. So racial equity, staying there. We have changed. And President Green, I know you've made some of the changes. Do you want to highlight?
I mean, I guess I made comments to the things that we took your input that you provided to make adjust with these things that we are continuing on with. Other than that, though, we're in the process of making this happen. So I can't really walk anything through. I mean, the only adjustments I've made have been to what we've done over the course of the year, and I'm going through agendas and adding that information on for the, that's not really new information though, or for the future. So Advisor Rome. Right, so Senator Zebel's hand up technically first, but
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
okay. then-
So we made some changes when we met yesterday, though. Very minor.
Oh.
We just
Yeah, we did.
looked
Yeah.
at what would fit still, and mainly got rid of something that talked about actually providing workshops for students and staff, and focused more, if you look at action step number 1 under strategy 2, focused on really organizing discussion forums to gather feedback, instead of educational events, really focusing on the Senate's goal and mission of hearing what the student body thinks, instead of providing workshops and creating training. Otherwise, pretty much everything is still in here from last year. I think just because not a lot has been able to be accomplished with changing leadership, and yeah. So it looks a lot like it did before. Basically just said, well, that Senate will continue to do this. And then VP Shockey, do you think you can summarize the student outreach and engagement?
Yeah, well, for student outreach and engagement, we obviously, since we started doing town hall events, we just implemented that in our action plan instead of saying create events, just continuing to do town halls and network with students there. We also highlighted spending more time on regional campuses. And then again here, continuing to send our monthly newsletter. And then we also had a discussion about our virtual office. We feel like we could maybe rebrand it to make it more effective now that's so many students are online and we're not in our offices frequently. We thought that would be important to get more student feedback and more student interaction. And then lastly, create, I believe this was, we did not add this. This is already here, to create videos about Student Senate. Okay.
It's a continued on thing. You know.
Okay, yeah, and then I think the last two are continuing on, and then our last goal here, President Green, do you want to? I believe we may be removing this.
Yeah, we're either we're taking most of that and removing it, and then if we have anything that could potentially carry into student engagement for initiative 2, we will move that over. Again, this is all provided feedback that that the Senate helped provide at the time when we first brought this to everyone's attention. But yeah, that we're hoping just though we're definitely getting rid of goal number 3 until we get better sense on dealing with what the future looks like. We got enough on our plate as it is, and yeah, we think that we're fulfilling the needs best. So that's all I have to add to that. Yeah, I guess I'll ask if there are any questions or thoughts, comments, feelings, anything. And well, that's good. That's good because again, we've talked about this. So, anything else, VP Shockey, that you want to add, or you have including with this bit here on non-business?
Nothing. I wanted to add. I mean, we've done other work on here. Nothing. No major changes. Just highlighting our accomplishments, our challenges, and things like that. But you'll all obviously see a full copy once it's completed. So
Yeah. All right. Cool. That sounds like we're good and done with that. So thank you everyone. Moving on. I'm gonna throw the announcement set part up here. Elijah, don't worry about these office hours for this week. We'll get you squared away. So you know how to make sure that you're doing your requirements and whatnot. Until then, though, these don't apply to the office hours. But everyone else, though, continue doing your office hours, please. And talk with VP Shockey if you have any questions with them. Please send all your reports to Senator Zebel as our communications coordinator. And check all our communication ways, the Outlook, the Teams, the WebEx, just if you see them down the hallway, hello, and anything, And other than that, though, that really finishes us up tonight. Anyone interested in maybe throwing a motion out there to adjourn the meeting? Senator Zebel, is this a motion to adjourn?
Yes, sir.
All right, a motion has been made. Do we
I
have a
second my motion too.
Well, you unfortunately can't do that. So,
Dang it.
do we have a second? And I saw VP Labella's hand up. Is that a second?
Yes,
Shake
it
your head.
is.
Okay, cool. And then all those in favor, please use the hand raising feature now and keep your hands up. And that would definitely be the majority there. So we are officially adjourned at 5:55. It just changed. You see that? On the 10th of February. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Reach out if you need anything. And we'll see you later. All right.